body. So I looked at myself. I was almost 20 pounds there. I could see the entire parking lot. Lots of people walking around and I kind of feel like, God, whatever happens to me, it's okay. I don't want somebody else to get killed. Okay? And the car came down. I just walked away from the whole accident. And my doctor found out because somebody called her, the patient, I just saw her. She's in an accident. So she thought I probably...
Hello.
I went there and she started, she looked at me. What? I just heard you in an accident. And I said, you know what?
Okay.
Somebody was watching over me. I walked away completely. Not even a scratch. And she said, just take your aspirin and call me tomorrow morning.
Okay.
So
Shall we start?
Yeah.
Namo Arihantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Ayariyanam, Namo Ujjayanam, Eso Panchanamukkaro, Sauva Pavapanasano, Mangalanam Cha Sauvesim, Padmam Havai Mangalam. I think we stopped here, the conduct of Mithyadrashti, no faith in true God, true Guru, true scriptures, true Dharma. And I think we took each of this definition of what is true God and Guru and scripture. Same way, faith in false God, Guru, scriptures, Dharma. We know about those Ananta Bandhu Kashaya, right? Those fierce passion. Depends for happiness in external object, external person, wealth and family life. Do not believe in karma, dharma, punya and pap, and then consider truth to be false and false to be truth. Crazy about temporal world or sensual pleasures. Do not fear wages of sin or rebirth in a hell. Does not like religious disclosure to listen or to put teaching of Aryan Bhagwan in a practice. Identifies with the body, not with the soul. So in order to get Samyak Darshan, you do not have to have any of this Mithya Drashti. If you have any of this Mithya Drashti, it's very, very hard to gain Samyak Darshan. All those who believe in the Mithyatva known as Ku Pravachan. False teachings are heretics who believe in heresy. They are following the wrong path. Only the path taught by the Jina is the true path. All other paths are false. So this is another, this sutra mentioned 10 types of Mithyatva. And I think we're going to skip some of them. But we can say now, let's go. Consider true religion, which is, it was there already. Remember, so we can pass, see if we anyone. Liberated mukta being to be unliberated. Nisarga mithyatva, inherent false belief. Paropradeksh purvak mithyatva, false belief embedded from external resources. Belief that liberation can be attained by carrying out certain rituals. Many religions, they did so many sacrifices. Or akriyavad, belief that liberation can be attained by doing nothing. Vinayavad, belief that liberation can be attained by showing respect to all religion and leaders. Some people say, "Bada dharma sarkha che," means a lot of religions are the same. They say they all lead to the same thing. Ajnanavad, belief that liberation can be attained through ignorance and indifference to reality. And look, they've made all those division, 32 subdivision of all of this. So just think how many ways they're trying to explain to us so we don't go in a mithya darshan.
I have a question regarding about respect to all religions, because I know we have to accept multiplicity of views and just basically keep our mouths shut. you know, because that gets us ensnared in too much stuff. So, like, I guess it's just basically we agree to disagree type thing, or we just,
right, this is just
even not even get that far.
just keep it quiet to yourself, and you know what is right and wrong.
Yeah.
Because certain religions are so fanatic, anything should say can go against you. So just be quiet,
And then I
right?
don't need that karma accumulation.
Okay. Abhigrahik mithyatva, false belief arising out of clinging to one traditional viewpoints. Anabhigrahik mithyatva, false belief arising out of indiscriminately accepting all doctrine to be true. So mostly it's all false belief arising out of self-righteousness, or sometimes we have an ego. When I was young, a lot of time you get into argument and say this is right without really knowing. Only true thing is known is Kevalajnani, and I'm nowhere near it. So you just stop if you don't know, just, don't get into argument. Anabhog mithyatva, false belief arising out of ignorance. So lokik mithyatva, false belief related to the world, false belief related to afterlife, a belief arising from listening to the false teaching. So these are all described. Teaching less than a path of jina, teaching more than a path of jina, teaching that which is the reverse of jina's teaching. Avinay mithyatva, false belief arising out of irreverence. Akriya mithyatva, belief arising out of inaction, arising out of ignorance. Ashatna, false arising out of contempt. So these are all the mithyatva. So this is all once you have that, you belong to first gun sthanak, the beginning stage of, I think this one we can pass. So first gun sthanak, the living being who remains in the darkness of mithyatva, keeps wandering in the ocean of transmigration, be reborn in 4 gatis and 24 dandaka, places of experience, fruit of karma, and one of those 8.4 million species. So this is called dandaka. See all different types of subhuman beings. And this, right? 8.4 million species. So we just go around and around.
What is the 8.4 million?
Those are the yonis, place where a soul can be born. 84 lakh jivo. And then science just proved it. They came up with very close number, right, Tejashbhai?
Yeah.
Okay, so we go in the next one, next presentation.
Science is of like few numbers.
ગુજરાતી માં કે 84 લાખ તેરા પ્રમાણ છે એવું બોલા
Okay, now we're going to do the categories. So this is categories of samyakva. Now, one way, faith in Navtattva, that pretty much explains everything, right? Faith in truth by Tirthankar Bhagwan, faith in Apta, Agam and Tattvas. So faith in Sudev, Suguru, Sudharma. So any one of those ways you can achieve samyaktva. There are 2 ways, Nishchaya and Vyavahar samyaktva. Sarag, Vitrag, Dravya and Bhav. So this one will, each one will just go through what they are. 3 ways, Karak, Rochak, Deepak. 5 ways, Upsham, Kashayak. We will go each one. And the 10 ways, Nisarg, I can't read right. But we'll go through each one. So one who seeks Samyaktva shows inclination towards variant of Samyaktva. Sometimes it's hard to achieve in each of this category, but 1 or 2 you really incline to it, you can still have Samyaktva. But basic philosophy is still that Saptak Darshan, those 3 Darshan Mohniya Karma and Anantanubandhi Karma, you have to suppress those and have destroy those Darshan Saptak Karma. Right? So like one takes an interest that which one likes, it's like a ruchi. Remember a word we learned ruchi yesterday, pasandagi in Gujarati. So we are inclined or we have affection or you lean towards your liking. So you have inclinations.
A simple rule. Where we see benefit, we like or ruchi.
Right.
And our effort are according to our liking.
Right. Very
so
true.
It's really selfishness. It's a good thing.
Right.
But it all starts with where we see the benefit.
Agree. Very true. We're going to pass. I think we talked about yesterday Nishchay and a Vyavhar. Nishchay is absolute and other one was empirical. So we're going to skip that. We're talking about Mithyatva, that's Darshan Saptak. That is Darshan Saptak. Vyavhar Samyatva indicates disposition free from false belief and deep belief in the teaching of the Jina, including the 9 Tattva. Or we can say Bhavo Shuddha Chaitanya Roop, unblemished state of consciousness. So we're going to pass Nishchay Samyaktva. Now this is Sarag and Avitarag. The Sarag is realized soul but not free from attachment. And this one you have to go up to very higher stage. I think up to 11 or 12 stage, you still have that attachment. But that attachment is Shubha attachment, like we talked about Gautam Swami. And a Vitrag Samyaktva is realized soul free from all attachment. We are Purvi, we are discussing categories of Samyakta Darshan. Yeah. So other one Samyak may be realized upon suppression, annihilation, and part suppression, part annihilation. They are the called Kshay, Kshayopam, and Upsham. This is that, I think we can pass.
I think I have a little bit of an objection, but about the whole idea of annihilating, passions. I think of Samkit or Samyak, it's like once you understand, then you will no longer want to have the Kyatva.
Right.
Not that you are trying to suppress it.
Agree.
Right?
Agree. It's automatically, you have destroy that passion. Right. Well, then, this is what Shubhleshya comes. Then you don't even think about it.
Then, it's not that you are trying to
Agree. The passionless is achieved through suppression.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
And it's used several times as
Agree. Well, this is we going through the Nav Tattva chart and following, that one. So the Samyaktva of a seeker who is not free from attachment is Sarag. We did that. Now Samyaktva that displays this quality, suppression, desire for liberation, Astha, Karuna, is also known as Sarag Samyaktva. Samyaktva, those who are free from both laudable and reprehensive attachment, is prasasta and aprasasta raga. This is known as a vitrag samyattva. Anyway, we talked about that. Sarag we can pass. Okay, the state of complete control of mind, speech and body is vitrag, right? Because you don't have any passion anymore. This is vitrag, sarag, vitrag. We're going to skip all of those. Now this is the one with those 10 of them, ruchi. Nisarga ruchi is natural, effortless and spontaneous faith. I think Marudevi Mata had some of this. I think we'll take that example. Updes ruchi, someday like we see so many stories, Mahavir Swami sermon, somebody is listen to his sermon and say, hey, please give me a diksha, I'm ready for it, So those are all Updesh ruchi. Agnya ruchi, faith in accepting what is said by supremely detached jina. You believe whatever Guru says and you follow. Sutra ruchi, faith which arises from deep and sincere study of scripture. Maybe you read something from Agam and all of a sudden that Samyak Darshan light is flashing on you and you decide to follow the right path. Bijruchi, faith arises out of deep study and internalization of one word or one letter of scriptures as taught by Jina. Abhigam ruchi arises after understanding essence of the scripture. So these are all different way one can achieve Samyak Darshan. After exhaustively studying and understanding the Jain scriptures. Faith that arises after practicing appropriate conduct prescribed by Jina. And then Sankshep ruchi, Dharma ruchi. So those are all different categories of Samyaktva.
There you go. They're all different.
Sutra, Beach, Vistar, Avgad, arising after deep sustain. And these are some of the, Agnya. So basically, now we go to Karag Yog, Karag, Rochak and Deepak Samyag. Karak is external and internal cause through which enlightened perception may be embedded, namely self-control, penance, equanimity. Rochak, enlightened perception which is arisen due to deep and spontaneous faith in teaching of Jina. Rochak, soul who have Rochak can and do differentiate between auspicious and unauspicious thing. You decide that body is not mine, soul is mine. So King Shrenik had a Rochak Samyatva, He understood all teaching of Jina, but he couldn't put it in a practice. I know the true path of righteousness, but cannot act upon it. I know the path of falsehood, but cannot stop myself from walking on it. I know what is dharma, yet I cannot get myself to follow it. I know what is dharma, yet I cannot retire from it. Deepak, to ability. I know what is dharma, yet I cannot retire from it. O Lord of the sense, you dwelt in my heart and I will do as you impel me to do. You're requesting Guru Krupa. Deepak Samyatva, ability to inculcate enlightened perception in others while remaining darkness oneself. Awakens the Samyaktva in others.
How does that happen?
Well, that, remember that one story of that guru? He was so much enlightened and he can turn so many people to understand and take diksha, but he himself couldn't do it. This is the good categories to seize. Samyakya darshana based on a degree of permanence. So this one has to do with those darshan mohaniya karma. We'll go through a little bit. Those are three. One who has done upsham samyaktva can suppress any calamity of affliction while they remain in a state of upsham samyaktva. That's annihilation of deluding karma. This is the best one. One attained, it is never lost. So if anybody wants to get one, Shayik Samyaktva is the one to achieve. And then there is a little chart. See, this one, once you attain, liberation is certain within next 3 to 5 births. Kshayik Samyaktva is the highest form of Samyaktva. Kshayik Samyaktva is attained when the seeker is in the presence of the Tirthankar Bhagavan. So we have to go to Mahavidya Kshetra. So from here we take that ticket right to Mahavidya Kshetra. Now here is the chart showing you, here you have completely taken care of those. Here is suppression. I think we're just going to go to other chart, would show you same thing. And now this is Vedak, and you have done Kshayik Vedak, it's okay, and then Upsham Vedak. So sooner or later, just a chart, and this is Uday, means it has reason to that mohaniya karma. So you are in the process of either doing this or suppression or this. So you are still in the right path. Uday means it's rise of, if you have done some bad karma, the fruits of that karma would avoid you to achieve the Kshayik Samyak Darshan. This is the Saswadan, extremely fleeting, it comes and goes, comes and goes. I think this is a Mishra or a Mithyatva, it comes and goes. So this Samyak is very transient and happens while the soul has fallen down from 4th to 2nd Gunsthanak and still falling down to the 1st Gunsthanak. Sadhya Samyak Darshan. Sadhya is final destination. Nothing more remains to be achieved after destination is reached. And then sadhan. Sadhan is the means to get there. Because nothing more remains to be achieved after it is attained. And once it is attained, it cannot be lost. Pudkal like Samyatva is an enlightened perception where Samyaktva mohaniya karma may still be experienced. This is another one. Perception where Samyaktva mohaniya karma are no longer experienced. Dravya and Bhav. Dravya is the purification of Mithyatva karma. Bhava is the deep and lasting, unshakable felt teaching of Jinas. So these are all different categories of Nisarga. Nisarga, when one attains on his one own, without the help of any external catalyst, help, guidance, sermon, teaching, through one's own self-realization is known as Nisarga Samyak. This is Marudevi Mata received this. I think what happened is he saw Rishabdev Bhagwan in Samosaran, and that has something to do with attaining Samyak Darshan. let me read. I think I can get on that one. Get to my notes and I can. She attained enlightenment, liberation while sitting on the back of the elephant. While seated on the back of the elephant, Marudevi Mata saw Tirthankara Adinath in his Samovasaran and saw the hundreds of Indras serving the Tirthankar with great devotion and humility, and the scene helped her to attain Samyak Darshan. So again, this is the main Tattvartha Shraddhanam Samyak Darshanam, right? Deep and lasting faith in teaching of Jina, in a complete acceptance of reality as it exists, is the key to attainment of Samyak Tattva. 6 truth and 9 tattvas. So now we're going to skip over to next one. We're just catching the highlights of all.
It's number 6 to 7.
Now we're going to go to 7. Now proclamation of Samyaktva.
4 and 7 is 45 minutes.
Well, we are taking a shortcuts now.
4 sections, 45 minutes. 10 minutes each.
10 minutes.
Right.
We've been like this since yesterday, because when we're reading down the whole thing then.
Okay. Now, sorry. Proclamation. Now, this is the one through these qualities, Samyaktva is attained, maintained, recognized, purified, glorified, and if there is a corruption, there is a great awareness, safeguarded and makes it stronger. So this is what 67 Samyaktva Bol, Gujarati ma we say those. So just the limbs are essential for body to function. Limbs of Samyaktva need to be excellent shape for attainment of Samyaktva. Even if person has attained Samyaktva, if one of the limbs Samyaktva is missing, Samyaktva can be flawed. Oh. Now here is the chart. And these are the 8 achar, this is the 8 achar. And all of those, if you add, it would be 67. This is Shraddha. We'll go through each one. What happened to my chart? I think I went a little fast. Oh, sorry. Okay, this we're gonna go through 8 achar of Samyaktva, which is the limbs. Nishankata, undoubting faith in teaching of Jina, and Shanka means fear. So we can all this fear of worldly mischief, fear of other world, fear of deprivation, fear of accident, fear of physical agony, fear of ignominy, fear of death. Fearlessness keeps the seeker on the straight and narrow path. This always reminds me of that pregnant deer, So I keep reminding me of that. Does not give up. Go on the next one. Alok Bhai. Now these are the 7 fears connected with this world. The soul which has attained Samyaktva does not suffer from any kind of fear regarding his family, community, country.
There's one comment that will help with all 7. All these fears are body related.
Right.
As you go through it, think about it better.
Okay.
Look at it better.
Parlok. fear connected with other world or arising from other being. Adanbhai, fear connected with shelterness, fear of accident, fear of pain and disease, fear of loss of reputation, fear of death. In the presence of truth, the wise person who has attained samyaktva can cross the bridge of death and attain immortality. I'll skip the next one. This is well explained in Bhaktamar Stotra. O Jina, wise one, recite this panegyric with devotion, is always free of fears of mad elephants, ferocious lion, forest fire, snake, tempestuous sea, fatal disease, and bondage. In fact, fear itself is afraid of him. And this is the summary of all that 8 fears in a Bhaktamar Sutra. And he said, I have come to you, Arihant Lord, as if fearlessness and pleasure have dawned anew. We'll skip this. For one who wishes to attain samyaktva, it is obligatory to have deep, unshakable faith in destination and proper sadhana. Vastupal, Tejpal, firm belief in teaching of Jina. Oops, what happened? Right, Vastupal Tejpal built the Abu temple. And when he was in Satrunja, he used to wash the feet of all pilgrims. You know, I mean, let me see if I can get that, give you a little story. So, yeah, he washed the feet of fellow pilgrims who came to pay visit to him, conducted 13 holy Tirtha Yatra, built libraries, and of course spent millions of rupees to construct Jain temple of Mount Abu. Nishkankshata, no desire for worldly gain, for spiritual invaders, we know that. Nirvichikitsa, no doubting efficacy of ascetic conduct. Having no doubt about the result of an ascetic conduct is known as nirvichikitsa. These are the 8 limbs of Maina Sundari. You know, his father told him to marry Ubar Rana, and he knew that he was suffering for leprosy. She knew that whatever is in my destiny, that will happen to me. She was not afraid of the disease or Umbarana. Amud drashti, proper understanding of the doctrine. Mud means false, misguided. Drashti means enlightened perception. Hence, one who has faith in a falsehood is known as Mudha drashti. Amud drashti is exactly opposite to that. So, proper understanding of doctrine. One who has attained samyaktva is always free from false understanding. Now, Amud drashti could be of any of those. Lok, Dev, Guru, Mudhata, and Shastra Mudhata. Lok Mudhata is bathing in the rivers or the ocean, making heaps and sand and stone, throwing oneself for a cliff, jumping into a fire, considered to be an act motivated by falsehood. All of these acts are folly to achieve liberation. Lok Mudhata have been committed in the name of religion, god, goddesses, social custom and family tradition, you know. Dev Mudhata, worship him, God and Goddess, who are not free from attachment and aversion in order to gain their benediction for worldly profit. Dev Mudhata. Guru Mudhata, one who has not freed himself from 3 major obstruction of liberation: Maya, Mithyatva, and Nidan. There are lots of examples of Nidan, but we don't have a time to go through those. One who is immersed in a arambh, violence, parigraha, attachment to worldly object, both sentient and insentient, and indriya vishaya, pleasures, cannot be a true guru. I think we read about Panchindriya Sutra yesterday. What should be the attributes of true guru? The guru Surhuri Hirsuriji, we talked, even Panditji was talking about, during Akbar time, and I think we played a drama here, remember how much the violence was stopped? And then here is when he invited, Guru said that I can't walk on that carpet because could be a lot of insect here. And when they took the carpet, they did find the insect. But anybody wants to read, I think you can read this Guru Sri Hirsuri and Emperor Akbar. Shastra Murta, only the text which takes one on the path of liberation and helps the soul attain realization is the true scriptures. Our true scriptures are in our temple, Agam literatures. Upabrahum, enhancement of spiritual strength, means expansion, enhancement, strengthening and nourishing the soul. It means making sure that strength of the soul is not compromised or weakened in any manner. I think this. So in other words, the quality of this ensures that three jewels, darshan, gyan and charitra, samyak darshan, gyan, are not weakened. Sthitikarans, steadying the wavering faith of fellow practitioner. You always help your fellow practitioner to go on the right path. This is why we do Swadhyay, or we can give each of us, other guys, energy to be in the right path. In the duty of one who has samyaktva to counsel such a person wisely and helping back on the path of jina. Sthitikaran, faith of a fellow practitioner, swa and par, ensuring that I stay on the path of jina, to explain ourselves to stay on them, and helping stay on the path of jina, para, understand between sa and par. Vatsalya, affection and compassion for co-religionists, helping sadharmik bhai, help our Jain folks. In Bombay, they have so many organizations where if Jain family is not doing well, they provide the grain. One of my friends, every month they have a connection with Danawala, the one grain shop. Every month they provide that grains, so they have enough food to eat. There are so many of those little organizations done by so many small people, you don't even heard about it. But this is, Vatsalya. Prabhavna means promulgate, promotion. Religious prabhavna involves establishing the importance of religion helping more soul to attain liberation. We're going to pass this one, prabhavna. Then again, these are the another categories of prabhavna. This is one who mastered the scriptures and internalized the deepest and most subtle teaching of jina. Dharma kathik tells you a nice story. Katha motivates people. Vadi, debater, who can debate. Bhagwan Mahavir debated Gautam. When he came, he was different religion and he needed to know about Atma. Bhagwan gave all the answer what he needed. And same day or in a very short time, he took Diksha. Naimatik, one who can, on the basis of deep study, predict future. Vasagam Sutra, remember? there was going to be the epidemic, and then he, created a Vasagram Sutra to remove all the disease and affliction of common people. That mantra was so powerful. Those days, there was a couple of extra stanza, and if you really recited those stanza, celestial being used to come to serve you. But then people were misusing that, and then, they took out those stanza. But it was that powerful. If anybody interested, you can go on YouTube and put word by word meaning of Vasagram. There's all story on there.
So, okay, I have a question about that. Like, the guy's gonna hit the cat.
Well, there's another story. What happened is, his brother predicted that there's going to be a death because of something to do with the cat. And then Bhadrabahu said that it would happen with the cat. His brother said it won't happen. And Bhadrabhanu can predict because he can see the future. So there is some of this has that ability to see what is going to happen.
And so they tried to, I think, remove all the cats.
Agree. They took all,
If it's going to happen, it's going to happen.
Right, because they removed all the cats, but they didn't remove the one on the door, which was like a heavy object. So that heavy object fell on the, right.
It wasn't an actual live cat.
So they really didn't do themselves any good with karma by harming the cats.
Right, exactly.
So that was the karma.
So, right, you have to pay the price of whatever, you've done wrong. So tapasvi, one who has attained the insight, knowledge, and practice self-control and penance. Vidya Siddhi, those who protect Jain community through knowledge, science. Rasadi Siddhi, their powers include but are not restricted to invisibility, aerial travel, and astral travel. This is a whole, we can go on in a more, but Kavi, we listen to Paktamar, we listen to Vasagram, and all of a sudden, it's this is what happened to that story.
Should I add one note? All these achievements or luxuries they call, they come on the path to moksha to a lot of munis.
Right.
But the ones who are on the path, ones who are strict on the path are not interested in using those achievements. Very rarely would they ever use it, only for good of the mankind, so to speak. And rarely. They never boast about it, they don't even tell people about it. It just happens on the way. But that's not their main goal.
Right. This is some of the different categories, it's not. I mean, if everybody was good, we can all just go to Shaik Samyaktva and achieve, but it's a different way. If I'm not wrong, Hirsuri, he listened to that one Sadhviji singing one of the stotra. And he wrote 1444 scriptures. So this is just a beginning, catalyst to go toward the right path. Prabhavna, I think we talk about joy of fame. I think we can. So Upar Mujab, Gujarati, those for Gujarati folks. ઉપર મુજબ 67 બોલો જેનાથી રહેલું સમ્યક જળકે ચમકે જણાય સમ્યક ન થયું તો ઉત્પન્ન થાય તે સર્વેનો વિશેષ આ પ્રમાણે છે. So those are all and this is again those are then this is 67 bowl, which is some of the repeat, but Shraddha, Linga, we just go through the main one. We won't go through each category. the door to firm conviction, door to identity, door for humility. Now this is the one makes your samyaktva stronger. Remember first thing I said what those proclamations are, you know. Those are other one. We won't go to each one. You stop your Dushana is the one you have to stop. They can corrupt you. Bhushan is the one gem-like perfection through which conduct of American becomes so extraordinary, perfect that it brings glory. It's like, you know, putting an ornament. You look. So those are the Bhushan Dwar. Prabhavnada, door of glorification. Door of exception. Sometimes you don't want to do it, but you live in a country where you have to follow certain rules and regulations, and that may be against what Jain theory is or philosophy is. Then they give you that excuse, you know. So those are door of vigilance, Jaina, constant vigilance. You know, we need to be alert every second to be in a purest of pure thoughts, man, vachan, kaya. Through, you know, those are the ones. Through which one may ascertain one's level of bhavana, through which one is becomes stronger and purer. So those are those 67, and then some of those we say. Remember, we know universal truth, you know, and so I've marked each one here, but we don't have enough time. So, you know, you can see 1-1. It goes all the way up to 67. You know, purity, and then there are some scriptures saying about those proclamation. Anukampa, astikta, shankadosh, Kanksha dosh, vitikiccha. So much information, you know. Kushal, Prirtha Seva, Sthirta, Dharmakathi, Vadi, you know, some of them we repeated, Kavi. Now here is that story that listening to Gatha, Pandit Haribhat become Acharya Haribhadra Suri. And you can see that he just listened, you know, and then this is the Sadhviji singing. So, these are exception I was talking about. Rajvibhog, if one has to pay respect to the gods of another one because they force on you to, you just know that by heart what is right and wrong. But don't get into trouble because of that, you know. Somebody pressures you to do something, just, you know, find the right way. Those are exceptions.
It's called lip service.
They will be all
That way you can't be brainwashed.
right.
Because you know in your
Vritti, Jainadar, Sandap, 52, 53, Naman, Vandan, Gungram. These are all. Now these are the 6 subcategories, you know, Anadi, and then Cha, internal truth. These are that one. Karmo no karta, bhokta, moksha. There is a liberation, and there is a way to achieve liberation. This is all makes your samyaktva stronger. We don't flee from that samyak. You know, bhavana, you know, this is the basic roots of religion. It's a supporter. It's based on, it's dharma no adhar, means contemplation. Basis of dharma which takes the form of knowledge and conduct. Is a vessel to contain dharma. It's a big treasury. You know, samyaktva is a big treasure to keep all fundamental qualities within ourselves.
What are the 12 gates?
Huh? 12, 6, 7, there are 12 categories, and each one Now 12 has a 6 different categories, and this is 67. So this way you know all of those. You know, when I did this, I don't want to miss any, so I was putting numbers and kind of gives you an idea. Okay, I think we're done with proclamation.
I need to do more than 10 minutes, but that's all right.
So let me fix my computer and see what the next one. This is, are we doing on time? I think we're going to miss art of living. We may go to superiority of samyaktva. Okay, we got to do it to 10:15. So, anybody interested in art of living, you can read about Srimad Rajchandra. He lived his life being a sansari, Jivan Kala, you know, being sansari, and he was samyak drashti soul. Or, you know, yeah, I'll give you an e-book and you can do that. Superiority. Oh. Pradhanta, you know, other word we use is the pradhanta. The wise one have called knowledge without samyaktva is ignorance, and conduct without samyaktva is known as unworthy of conduct. Absence of samyaktva, even penance is pointless. Oh, I'm going to skip some of this. If you have a building with a weak foundation, the door, window and plumbing problem develops because roof may leak, same way Samyak Darshan is the good foundation to get the most out of whatever tap you do, whatever knowledge you do, whatever austerity must be built on foundation of Samyaktva. We can skip. I think some of this we're going to skip because there's so much material. I'm going to go. Now, without Samyaktva, acts of charity, adherence to vow, and performance of penance yield inadequate results because of the absence of Laksha Shuddhi. Our goal should be that I want to achieve that liberation. And Ashay Shuddhi means purity of intention. Of course, you should be battling internal flaws and internal defects. This is the story I was telling you, that so many people attained Samyaktva Darshan, but he was not able to advance because he couldn't follow the teaching of Jina, he couldn't put up in a conduct. Samyaktva Darshan makes knowledge and conduct samyak. Shubdopalabdhi, pure, it brings you to a pure state. When lamp of Samyaktva is lit, darkness of ignorance vanishes. How can a darkness remain in a country where the sun is shining? Soul lit by a dazzling white sun of Samyaktva do not remain in the darkness of ignorance. This is another story about Gautam, we will pass. Jain scripture teaches 4 types of aradhana: darshan, jnana, charitra and tap. Of these 4 accomplishments, darshan is aradhana is the first, pramukh, most important one. Samyaktva purifies and adds luster to the knowledge and conduct. Remember clean room, all our electronics, you know how much clean room it is? They don't have one speck of dirt. Otherwise our computer, our phone wouldn't work. I used to work in this field, same way, we have to be so purified with our thoughts in order to achieve our goal. Just like clean room purifies contamination, Samyaktva purifies knowledge, conduct and penance. See, Jain Dharma is based on science. Know that Samyaktva is as crucial for knowledge, conduct, gate to the city, eyes for the face, and roots of a tree. Primary among Ratnatraya. I think we went through this. Roots of a tree give rise to the trunk, and branches gives us leaves, flowers, and fruit and flavors. This applies to tree of dharma as well. That's why ahimsa, satya, all 5 vows. It's a root of dharma. Pass. Tapa tyagnu mood. Samyaktva is a foundation of penance and renunciation. I'll go next one. Adhyatmik sadhananu mood. Root of spiritual accomplishment. Sadhananu kendra is a primary center of sadhana, our spiritual undertaking. Moksha marganu pratham sadhan, first instrument to go to liberation. Sadgunoni with vishuddhino adhar brings you compassion, pity, truthfulness, good quality in life of a seeker. They use this alum to clean everything. When you wash your clothes, you put a couple of those and dirt goes down at the bottom. Same way Samyak Darshan that purifies our kind of fatakadi, right? Sadhana Mandirnu Praveshdar, it's a doorway to purification. This is important. Samyaktva is proclaimed as the gateway to 12-fold path in a vrata. Bar Shravaknavat, Samyaktva is the basis of the foundation and treasury of a layman's path. And this is why, in Pratikraman Sutra, we have those 12 vows, Shravakna, Bar Vrata. These are all, ahimsa, 12 vows. There's another story. Gautam Swami visited Anand Shravak. He took a vows to observe 12 Shravak Vrata when he was 50 years old. He was a billionaire. And he gave up everything and took 12 Vrata from Mahavir Swami. Mokshanu Pratham Karan, it's a starting point of journey of liberation. Mokshano Adhikar Patra is the immersion of self in the Shuddha Bhav. So these are all Moksha Prapti no Adhar. It's Adhyatmik Vikas no Siyadwar is the chief gate of spiritual upliftment. We get high school to BS and then become PhD. And here we achieve Samyak Darshan, go these 14 steps and get liberation. Nourishment for those who seek completion of soul's journey. Atma Swarupno Bodhano Praram helps soul begin perceiving itself. There is so much stuff. Paramatma Dashanu Bij, source of boundless power and confidence. We talked about those Satavdhani, Anyway, we just... Paramatma Dashanu Bij, seed to becoming supreme. Suddha Sadhananu Mood, Samyaktva is the root cause of pristine, diligent and focused effort. Dharma is the pure, unblemished disposition. When we wish to dye a cloth, we need to wash it first, else the new color shall not be appear uniformly. Similarly, we have to purify our heart before we commence on our journey to self-purification. I think we're going to gonna pass. Jinatvani Pratham Bhumika, first stage on the path of becoming Jina. Je je anshe re nirupadik pano te te anshe re dharm samyak drashti re guna thana taki jiva lahe shiva sarm. To the extent that the soul attains nirupadikta, it comes closer to dharma, to its own nature and becoming Jina. Lord Mahavir gave up his palace, his attendant riches, he possessed nothing, yet he had the greatest possible wealth of all, samyaktva. Param labh, it's the biggest mangal, it's impelled by delusion, ignorance, worldly people desire material possession. They considering possessing material wealth to be supremely gainful. But can those material lead to path of salvation? No. So simple is that. These are all different stanza to explain us a little better. Now this one, it is Chintamani, wish fulfilling jam. It's a tree, Kalparuksha, Kamdenu, cow, great jam, Chintamani jam. Samyaktva has been compared to all of those things, wish-fulfilling tree, Kalparuksha. I think we learned that story again. So, Manushyatni Prapti, a kind of compassionate animal may attain Samyaktva. Look at, you can be a subhuman and still have Samyak Darshan. Vishuddha Jyotini Upalabdhi, a light of worldly lamps can be extinguished, but the lamp of Samyaktva, if you have a Kshaik Samyaktva, annihilation of Samyaktva can never be extinguished. So these are all. Conclusion, this is all we went through. This is, I think we just go through, we go next one. So this shows you how superiority of Samyaktva, superiority of Samyaktva. Okay, we got 10 minutes to do. Now one more. Now we're going to achieve liberation. Samyaktva, liberation through Samyaktva. This is easy. Oh, sorry. Firmness, protection and purity, liberation through Samyaktva. Atmano Vishuddha Parinam, I think we're going to pass that. This is the one we'll go through. Essential to do the following order to sustain, protect and purify one's Samyaktva. Gain and share knowledge. That's what we do. And speak truthfully, pleasantly, briefly, beneficially. Think of beneficial to all of us. Remain calm. Practice contentness. Samta. One day, this is a good story. I like it. One day, farmer's donkey fell down into a well. Animal cried for hours as the farmer tried to figure out way to get him out. But poor donkey was calm. So he called a bunch of his buddies and he said, what shall we do? He said, this well is not giving water and donkey is old, he's not really helping me. So they said, we're going to bury him. So they start shoveling dirt, and it's suddenly down on the donkey that he can shake those dirt off. So they throw some more dirt and he will shake it off. So he's climbing up on the well. And no matter how painful the blow, he kept his cool, shaking it off, stepping it up. It was long before the old mule, battered and exhausted and overwhelmed, and they were going to bury him. Instead of that, he was all the way on the top. If we face our problem, respond to this positively, we need to stay calm. So, he was able to get out of the well instead of he thought he was going to die because, he would just shake it off. So, all of us need to shake off that mithyatva so we can attain samyatva. Remain calm. Then, clear understanding of reality of universe, reflection upon false belief, giving up desire. Constant pondering, seeking, go away my misguided faith in a false God, guru and a faith. Seeking supremely detached jina as my true God. Be sthiti prajna, firm judgment and wisdom. Be sthitatma, state of equanimity. Deeply entrenched false belief harms the soul far more than a fire, poison, or a black cobra. Idea is to, some of the cobra they never miss. They hit target every time. Venom can cause blindness just like mithyatva. King Shrenik had a flawless samyaktva. Flawless, shuddha bhav, no more doing nirjara all the time and no more new karma is coming in, ashra. There's a whole story we can tell. But Shukla Dhyan, immaculate meditation, free from the flaws of attachment, aversion and passion. This is Emperor Sanat Kumar. He had a right faith. I think some of these birds were eating off his back. He still remained firm. But there's a whole story. You can, if you want to read, you can go on Google and write Sanat Kumar and you can read. We're going to pass. So, purity of samyaktva, we have to make sure that we are away from follies, false cognition of all of this, and mithyatva of darshan, jnana, charitra, drashti, gnani and charitrani, and some of those we talked about, shanka and vikiccha. So, it is 25 flaws, the corrupt true nature of the soul. For Gujarati folks, we're all in Gujarati. This is in English, thing we went through. Gausalak, arrogance led him to believe that he was omniscient and Lord Mahavir was not. So this is in Gautam Swami and Gausalak. They both were near Mahavir Swami. Gausalak was full of mithyatva and he didn't gain samyaktva, while Gautam Swami became his first kanda. Same thing about Marichi, ego in a falsehood. He was, you remember his ego? That my father is the Tirthankar and I'm my caste is the most honorable, and that because of that ego, he was born in a lower caste in his 27th reincarnation. Today, Panditji was explaining, and they transplanted his fetus into, a king, I can tell you the story, but I think it's time. But that's, keep your ego out, because that can lead you to a lower birth in a lower gati. Dharma can be remaining only on a pure soul. Also, this one is, people can attain purity by perception by worshipping the 24 Tirthankar. And now you know why we recite Logasa Sutra. You know how many times we recite in Savansari Pratikaman? We have a 40 Logos no Kausak, plus so many times. So by recitation of Loga Sutra, one worships and praises the virtues of 24 Tirthankara and other obeisance to them. So we won't go through this, it's all Logasa Sutra, how we praise. Even we do that in Bhaktama Stotra. The brilliant sun is far away, still at dawn, its soft glow makes the drooping lotus bud bloom. Similarly, mere utterance of your name with devotion destroys the sins of mundane being and purifies them. Siddha Avastha, soul has attending unending qualities. The key among them is perception, knowledge and conduct. The liberation through samyaktva, the rise and fall of purity of the soul with respect to the purity of qualities like knowledge is measured in terms of gunsthanak. Gun means attributes. Actually gunsthanak means stages of spiritual development. What we have talked about is mithyatva so far, And here is those 14 gunsthanak. We won't go into detail, but this is the first one is mityadrashti, and then second, third, fourth, fifth. So that fleeting one, extremely fleeting samyaktva, partly enlightened, partly diluted. Avirata is vowless, but it's enlightened perception. Any average soul can easily achieve fourth gunsthanak. That aviriti is lack of restraint. We talked about darshan saptak. Achievement of avirata samyak drashti by winning mohaniya darshan saptak. Those ananta bandhuni karma and 3 darshan mohaniya sarma. So these are all, I think Asendra right, Vipin Bhai, he did Swadhyayana Gunsthanak. So, these are all, Ayogi Kevali, that's the one takes you all the way up. Here is the one explaining. And see how you can come down. Here you achieve and then fleeting can you bring down. Or you can go from here to, you can jump. It's all how our efforts are to our spiritual undertaking. But look how easy it is to come down. This reminds me of that Sapni CD. Remember Sapni CD? Cobra bites you and you come down. Anyway, there is enough information you want to know about, but I'm putting that fairy or because, we can easily achieve that, And I'm pretty sure that this is all 14 stage, you won't go in a deep. But this is the moksha. No pain, no death, no deceit. Don't have to worry about sleeping. These are all moksha is supreme condition. No hunger. Infinite knowledge. Complete equality in moksha. The best possible material happiness is not even equal to smallest possible fraction of permanent happiness that Siddha have in a moksha. And everybody can achieve moksha. Look at all of this. Being Tirthankar, non-Tirthankar, being a household person, woman, being a male, we don't discriminate anybody. Self-learning, so these are all the examples. So we all have a hope, to achieve our goal. This is the last story. You gotta listen. Let's see if I can get here so I can. This is a Kapil Kevali. Poor guy got married and his wife was delivering approach. There was a monetary stress. The king of the city used to give 2 gold coins. The person who came to first in the morning to give him blessing. Reaching the palace, he went so early, so policemen thought he's a thief. So they took him to the king. He said, and Kapil narrated his experience in the court. He said, hey, I'm so poor, all I needed the blessing. So the king said, come tomorrow morning and ask me what you want. I will grant your wish. Sitting on a seat, he thought I may get 100 coins. No. I needed 1 crore coins, 10 million coins. Desires are unending. Have has no limits. A worn out leaf providing Kapil a very striking reminder of that transient nature of the life in the world. How ungrateful I am. Driven by strong inducement, he was about to deprive the very king of his kingdom, who had wished to give him something. What would I do even with 2 masa of gold? I should be content with what I have. In contentment lies the real happiness. Real happiness. Wish we can all learn from this. Wishing all of you all the best for the early dawn of Samyaktva and a highest stage of Gunsthanak. So, if you may have any respect, please accept our apology. Material in this presentation is compiled data from the book by Dr. Amit Bansali. My gratitude to him. Because of his book, I was able to create this PowerPoint presentation. And here is, he did PhD in some European university on a Samkit. Antwerp. So, one more, spiritually is seeded, germinated, sprout, and blossom in the mundane. It is to be found and nurtured in the smallest of daily activity, right conduct. Now everybody just close, pay attention to this slide and concentrate. The soul attains the Siddha state that is free from all karma by burning and reducing to ash all the 8 karma shows as a piece of wood in the fire of penance and meditation. As a lotus flowers bloom when sunlight falls, 8 natural attributes of the soul appear spontaneously, destruction of 8 karma. 8 natural attributes of inherent power are shown at the petals of blooming lotus: infinite knowledge, limitless perception, unending happiness, flawless conduct, supreme power, formlessness, masslessness, indestructible constitution. After liberation, Siddha soul exists in a crescent-shaped Siddhaloka, situated at the edge of the universe. We wish you nothing but the best in your spiritual journey to achieve purest of achar, purest conduct, and equality and equanimity, leaving all of you to the moksha and the liberation. Michhami Dukadam, Jai Janendra. You're more than welcome. Thank you for all your support. He's always there for us, Vipin Bhai. He makes sure that proper information is on email, what is my topic, and on the behind the scene. He's always helping us, and I am, yes, yes. Especially, my main thanks to Tejas Bhai for giving us a great subject, and I think this has something to do with my accident. We had that done before my accident, and my desire to finish this presentation in Paryushan may have saved my life of Dev Guru Krupa, among with good vibration from all of you.
Thank you so much, everybody. It's such a pleasure to share all these years with you. I know, we wish there were more people. I
I was surprised yesterday, 104 views on the internet.
Oh, so that's good. We do something on it.
Because
It's
it's
not
hard
big.
for people to come and test.
But I think that's great.
So I was somewhat encouraged, what we went yesterday. Do you know how to turn it off? Streaming? Do you know?
Yeah.
But she's there in the office again.
I think I know how to do that.
I don't want to touch anything.
Yeah, I'll just go and see if I can do.
I'll call you.
You are? I think streaming I will.
Thank you.
Hare.
See you tomorrow.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Is this next?